boys, while I was talking about that Japanese thing, I went to Engadine Macca's. And how good is this? In the drive-through, there is a building next to the Macca's that obviously isn't run by Macca's. And they've put a huge mural of Scott Morrison's face on that wall and then just put on his forehead 1997.
Lest we forget.
Is it confirmed? How did this start? Like, who started this? Whether it's true or not, what are the sources?
Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not. The fact that he keeps denying it makes me think it is true.
Yeah, because if it didn't happen, you'd be like, well, no prime minister would publicly say that they shat their pants. So
no,
I don't think we're ever going to get it from him. Maybe when he's about to die and he writes a autobiography, he's like, yeah, I did it.
Well, I did it. The book's his memoirs called Why I Did It.
So everyone knows.
What?
No. It's exactly the same as fucking O.J. Simpson's biography.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If I did it, but tiny little if in the eye.
If I did it. Oh,
Scott Morrison did that shit.
Oh,
I think it'd be really endearing if one of them admitted to it. I never felt closer to my dad when I said, when was the last time you shat your pants? And he said, I don't know, but I remember when I was 5 and we had to do some little school play and I was the fox in the school play. And
is this
it wasn't because I was nervous. I just shat my pants because I kind of just forgot about it. And so I was running on stage. He just still did it with shit in his pants because his teacher was like, no, go out there.
Dude, shout out Tottenham. What a country towns know how to raise their kids. I don't give a shit if you shat yourself. The production, John, say your fucking lines.
The show must go on.
Miss, when was the last time you shat yourself?
Ali, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Because it was.
Because it was yesterday.
Come on, let's be honest. You don't go to the toilet.
I was sitting in my room and I felt the toilet is just too damn far away.
The bin was right there.
Man, you know what? Like that would be the ultimate gift for you, wouldn't it, Miss? To just hoist you off, but with a couple of Maoris being like, excuse me, bro. And then they get a saw and go, and make a little butthole you sit on. And then they just put a cheap Bunnings bucket there, and then the Maori just sits there and it's like, every time you need to take a shit, you tell me. In the meantime, I'll be sitting in the corner reading this weekly, and every time you need your butt wiped, just tell me. I'll be extra gentle about it, don't worry, and I'll move the bucket and put it in the toilet for you, bro.
Would you not take that chance?
Yeah, I would not.
Well,
I'm not into that at all.
Some men just like to watch the world burn, my friend, and like you.
This we're gonna have.
When was it?
When was it? Yeah.
Last time was. Fuck, it would have been. I gotta think of I don't know what year it was. Shit, probably.
The year of the monkey.
I'm not good at maths. Like 10. No, between 10 years ago. Let's say a bit less. No, like
2011.
Yeah, that year.
Shat yourself when you were 21.
No. I was 20. I was 24. Wait, 24. Maybe 25. 24 or 25. I think I was 25 actually, possibly. And it was after a
25?
long. Yeah, it was after a long. I'll never forget it. It was after a long night out of the town in Brighton, United Kingdom, and I was walking home from the pub or a club or something, and it was a bit of a wild night. I'd been on a few. Missy he dabbled in a few of the illicit substances that night. He might have. So I was walking home and I was like, oh, feel that coming. No, Brighton's a small town. I'll be home soon. Past the Bulldog Hotel. It should be right. Past the Hand in Hand. It's not even open. It's like 5 a.m. And I'll never forget it. I put the key in the front door, and then, like a key to a nuclear sub, bam, came out and straight into. I used to, because it was in winter in England, it gets to like minus, it's freezing. Bam, straight into my long johns, like a little like a parcel delivery system, like FedEx. And then I proceeded to just take off. I proceeded to take off the long. The best thing about the long johns, if you're English and living in an English winter, you might as well shit yourself. It's quicker. You just tie that shit up like a diaper, and I just chucked it in the fucking dumpster and just had a shower. It was no fuss, no mess, no stress. I highly recommend it.
So it was a very pleasant experience.
Actually, shitting your pants was just convenient.
It was just like, I mean, it wasn't convenient because I lost a pair of long johns, but it was funny. I don't regret it.
If you had an opportunity, you would still shit in your pants and not wait for the toilet.
Well, look, if long johns, but if the prices were down, I wouldn't say no.
All right, Jordan, your turn. When was the last time you shat your pants?
I can't remember. It couldn't have been this, but I remember sleeping over at a friend's house when I was 6 or 7. And I think I shat my pants while I was sleeping.
You
sort of just that, like, waking up being like, chocolate pudding.
Oh,
Warm chocolate pudding. Ooh. And so I scooped. So stupid.
Oh my God.
I'm embarrassed for my 7-year-old self now.
Jesus,
7.
I
scooped it out of with my hand.
No. This explains a lot about your personality.
Yeah, okay, miss, you shat yourself when you were 25.
So what? You were 7. That's almost worse.
Yeah, clearly.
Worse.
It is. I wasn't of sane mind.
Yeah, but the way, Jordan, you dealt with that situation was much worse than the way Well, admittedly, he was 24.
The hand. But what else am I supposed? I'm not going to wake up some mum that I probably didn't even know her name and just be like, it happened. I'm just I had.
Why the hand? Why the?
What else am I supposed to do?
Get toilet paper or some shit.
Look. It was a long time ago. Like, I can't remember why I did it. I just did. I put it in there, and then I went back to sleep.
No.
I remember what?
No. Why'd you get back to sleep?
What are you talking about? It was nighttime.
So you just left it there.
I was a tired boy.
You just left it.
No, I scooped it out, put it in the toilet, went back. Let's assume I washed my hands. I'm not sure. And then I went to sleep, and then I woke up the next morning, and then it had like encrusted on my pants, and I was picking it off with my feet.
Oh my God.
No.
And the last time I shat myself publicly was 2 weeks ago. Check out the Up Late podcast.
What?
You were there, Miz.
Was I?
Yes. Remember, we did an entire pod of me doing a shit in that toilet right there. And then we spent the next hour laughing about it, and then went, that's all the time we got for.
How could I forget? Join up to our Patreon, Friendly Geordie's Patreon now for the best kind of exclusive content.
But Miss, I'm glad that you admitted that it was when you were 24 years old, because I'm sick and tired of these people that are going like, oh, maybe when I was 3 years old, I can't remember.
Dude,
okay, I haven't like that situation where like you can't keep it in and you shit yourself. Yeah. Hasn't happened to me since I was a kid.
Hang on, boys. Are we talking about a full-on deuce?
That's what I was gonna
about, just like little sharts here and there.
Because I've had a shart very recently. In fact, it was
that doesn't surprise me.
It was so annoying. It was so annoying.
Dude, that's worse. A shart is worse. At least I committed.
Yeah, you just took a shit.
Weighing in with Miss Love on this one.
But
Said it right.
one of those days,
Go through.
I was coming to Jordan's house. I think this
No.
was pre-studio, and I was coming to record, and I got into my car. I was on the fucking highway, and what I thought was a fart was a shart. And as soon as I felt, I was like, uh-oh. And then I had to do like a Yui, go back home, change
What?
my clothes, take a
Shouldn't have
shower, and
done-
then come back.
Oh, you shouldn't have. You should have just gone into
So the
Jordan.
last time you shat yourself, Ali, was during this pod.
It was in 2020.
Wait a sec. On the pod,
Time.
No, not on the
Yeah.
pod. I was coming to record the pod, and I was in my car
was
driving.
this in Zetland?
No, he was
It
on his
may-
way to Zetland. He couldn't make it.
Yeah, I was late that day.
At least you almost got through the door. He just got into the car and oh my god.
And if
Ali.
only it was just after I got into my car. It was unfortunately 15 minutes of me driving on a highway when it happened.
Dude, Ali, that
You
actually.
turned around. I got to say, that's very nice of you, Ali, to not come into my apartment smelling like shit.
Yeah, I just would have gone it, fucking aborted the undies and been like, well, I'm free balling at this pod.
What is it with your God? You really do think of underwear and pants as nappies, don't you, Miss Love? You just do whatever you want in them, and then it's someone else's problem once it's done. There you go, homeless guy. Would you like a new pair of pants? And would I? And, oh, this is just another continuation of a very unfortunate series of events.
Hey, it's a story.
What?
It's an experience.
I bet you that, like, how many clothes that are sold at op shots have been shat in? It'd have to be a percentage. It'd have to be like 2%.
Would you have turned around?
Me?
Gord? Yeah, would you have turned around if you're in Ali's position?
Nah.
Right on, dude.
Oh, what would
If I
you
went
have done?
past a 24 hours Kmart, I might might go and get some underwear, but I haven't been put in that situation. So I don't know.
The spirit of 69 is still alive and true in Jordan Shanks.
But I
We're
still
still
think
going to do
Missy
that,
wins.
boys. That's what we're going to do as soon as we come back, as a welcome party to not lockdown. I've still got those adult nappies in there. We're going to play spin the bottle at the beginning on the poker table and use it for something, because it did cost $700 and it has just been utilized as a table. So we'll spin a bottle on it, and whoever it lands on has to have a nappy on and has to try and squeeze one out.
Oh my! And this is a really great taster into into a preview into what we get up to on the upplay. I was just about to be like, we're past 30 now. This is pathetic. But then I instantly thought of Steve-O being like, hey, I'm Steve-O, this is Jackass. I'm like, we're not that bad.
Hey, look, I know this isn't like an audience one, but this comment needs to be read out. I didn't know this was a thing. I worked at an op shop for years, and people would shit themselves, come into our work, change into a fresh pair of jeans in the change room, and leave their shitty pants on the floor. And that is a minimum wage job when it should be one of the most highly paid jobs ever.
No, that's what you get for drawing the short straw in life. More short straws.
Can I ask, where did that happen? And I'm going to guess Minto.
Why Minto? Do you know I kind of live close to Minto?
Where's Minto?
It's near my house.
Ali wrote the comment.
No, Ali did the shit.
Yeah, I might have done the shit.
Oh my God.
Anyways, boys, should we end the pod, or do you want to keep going? We do have a record-breaking audience today.
Dude, when we like peak shit conversation, we were like a couple of 1,500. Surely this is like the highest we've ever had.
So what? They all tuned in to know when you chat your pants me.
Yes, give the
seem to
people
be
what they
into it.
want. That's what they want. None of this
And that's what
politics.
you want. Well, have we got any more stories of shitting ourselves? I'm trying to think through.
I've got some funny stories. I don't know if you guys will find them that funny though. Is this funny? When I went to a, I think it's funny. Went to a club in Brighton one time.
Why is it always Brighton?
Because I lived there for 6 months.
Yeah, but why is every story that you have about yourself condensed into that one period?
Because, dude, I was doing a lot of MDMA and living life to the fullest.
Does MDMA make you go, does it?
Well, it generally makes you go, yeah.
Oh, too happy to not care if you go.
I mean, look, it was just a wild time. It was a wild time. And the story is actually a friend of mine who watches this pod. Hey, Dan, he might be watching this. And
Dictated,
he's a legend. He liked the pod, so he was like, guess what I did? And I'm like, what? And then he was like, new Patreon member. And I'm like, you legend. So there you go. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. But essentially, he was doing so much. He was doing so much MDMA to give you a prelude. Is he asked the girl to marry him, but like in no position to be married or to be asked to get married.
What?
We used to steal things all the time. Like if we wanted a bottle of wine, we would just walk down to the bottle shop and take it, and then chase down the road and run for like half an hour. We were basically junkies. And we fucking one time we met these girls and they invited us over to their hotel. And we started kicking holes in the roof of the hotel.
What?
And like we started kicking holes in the roof just for no reason, and like putting things in there and jumping around and breaking the bed and such. And just a great old friend. This is also the guy I rode through Spain and Portugal with, and that was the preparation we had for it.
Hang on.
An idea.
So the people whose hotel you trashed, like you really are just Johnny Cash and John Laws, aren't you?
Yeah, that was the period of my life. Yeah.
Wait, who?
So you kicked the bunch of holes in the ceiling that they, assuming, had to pay for from their hotel, and then he asked her to marry him.
That was a different person. The marriage was a different person, but like, yeah, they just did so many drugs that like, it's like I can like just living in a fantasy world. It was great. It was great.
I did you shit at any point in the story?
No.
You're missing the theme then.
Oh yeah, I know. There's no other shit stories. But
This isn't my story, but this was a story.
Hang on. So you just told us a story about you doing a lot of illegal stuff at one.
No.
No reason.
No, that wasn't the end of it. That wasn't even the story. The part that was funny.
Yeah.
There's no shit involved, but the part that was funny was I just have this image in my head. God bless him. We were at a club and it was like snowing outside, basically. Hey, it involves piss. There you go. This is close enough. He was dressed. So he got he got he got kicked out of the club because he pissed on the dance floor, because he was just like, no, this is good enough. Couldn't be fucked to go to the bathroom. So he pissed on the dance floor in the middle of a group of people. The guy saw him, kicked him out, and then like he just stood in the snow, waiting for us, and we couldn't find him. We just kept partying. It was like 4 a.m. We came out, and he was just standing there, looking sad, like the saddest man on earth in the snow, staring at us. Mind you, dressed wearing this, no shoes, tights, an eye patch, and like a pirate hat, and like a fucking like pirate shirt. Just, no shoes, looking sad.
Where did the shoes go?
I don't know, but man, that man makes me so happy. I can't even tell you.
Well, if we can count friend stories, I've got a funny friends shit story.
Please.
Go on.
We were
Please.
was it year 4 or year 5? One of the two.
Hey, we're at 1534. This is the most in history,
Well,
guys.
be ready for it to cross 2000. So
Damn.
the first thing that we notice is that the school. So we're at school, and the boys' bathroom, has been sealed off. Other boys cannot go in, and we look through, and there is literally shit all over the ceiling. So at this point,
Oh,
we don't know how the fuck this happened, right? So we start going like, who the fuck did it? Anyways, one of these guys, he ends up admitting it, and this was his story. This is how it happened.
oh my God.
So he really needs to take a shit, and
I don't even know how this is gonna go. This is just, I'm so curious.
so there were 2 toilets. One of them, because this is Pakistan, was out of order, and the other one,
Don't worry, our school was the same. Don't worry.
some apparently, according to his version, is some motherfucker was occupying the other cubicle and was just there for ages, and he really needed to go. So then he takes out one of his socks
Oh,
and he shits inside his sock. And I asked him, why didn't you just shit in your underwear? And his response was, I would have if I was wearing one.
Jordan should be
Still-
taking notes.
Still doesn't explain how the shit ended up on the roof.
Yeah.
He chucked it. He must have chucked it.
His version of event was that he shat into his sock, he sealed it, and he was trying to throw it out of the window, but he had to swirl it around to get power, and apparently the sock had holes in.
Oh, fuck.
And that's how the shit story ends, and it ends up being on the roof.
Why is it that the one where at least there was some kind of disposal method that was thought about beforehand? That's the chatter story.
Well, look, I'd say
Why
that's
is
still
it
like,
a sock? Is it because it's kind of like a woolly condom?
Well, I suppose from his perspective, it was the only thing he could get away with without people knowing that he wasn't wearing one of his socks.
Right. Hey, if you shit in a condom, do you think it expands or not?
Well, it depends how much you shit.
Jesus Christ. If
Like,
only
you shit enough for it to expand.
Yeah, it will expand.
Why doesn't everyone just use that as a disposable toilet? Everyone's got one of them in their wallet.
Yeah, in year 4.
Oh, right, it was year 4. Sorry.
Jesus, the fact that you think that would, the fact that you think that would work is like, a sock's at least got like a large surface area, expandable. The condom, like, dude, that is not an easy operation.
How big is your anus, Miss Love? Mine's tiny.
Well, I don't know, but like, Christ.
Well, you got to stretch it up real good.
Jesus. I mean, the sock, you should have been taking notes from the sock guy, Jordan. They would have helped you.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, he was older than me.
There is one more. There is one more I remember, but it's not.
Okay, let's make this the last story because we want to end on a high. We don't want to go back to 300 viewers. And be like, all right.
Yeah, fuck bloody geopolitics.
All right,
You
yeah,
want
last story,
shitty
and then we
Willy.
go.
I mean, it's not the best one, but it's still pretty funny. It was my mate who went to Morris Brothers, and apparently there was just a shit in the middle of the floor in like the toilet, and then apparently everyone was just like, it was just like, oh, holy shit, someone did a shit, and then like all the words spread, and the teacher saw it, and there was like an emergency, like, what do they call them, like, assembly area meetings, and apparently like the head counselor was like walking up and down, private school with his hands behind his back, just being like, we will not be resting until this incident of this shit is is taken care of. And then every time he said shit, someone would be like, oh, and he'd be like, that's it, McCormick, principal's office. And then he was just like, this here at Marist, we take the incidents like these very serious. And then someone's like, oh, it's like, James Hill to the principal. And then apparently, like, an hour later, there was like 5 people left because everyone kept laughing. And like most of the year was in the principal's office. It was just like the do-gooders and nerds being like, yes, this is very serious. And like, and then basically the fucking teacher got to the point where it was like, yes. And then looked at the crowd and was like, I may be a well-educated teacher, but my skills do have my skills have educated me enough to realize the perpetrator most likely is not remaining in this group. And they just like called the assembly off. Like you never found out. They never found out who the perpetrator was. And because it's an all boys private school, it was like the most kicks they'd ever gotten in their whole school careers, you know, their schooling lives.
I really would have paid anything to be there. Remember we wrote a script about that, Miz?
Oh, that's right. Wait, did we do it or we didn't? We did.
What happened to those? No, we never filmed it.
Oh, we never. Oh, yeah, we haven't. We've still got the script. We just haven't filmed it. Hey, preview to a Friendly Geordies video coming near you.
That's so good, isn't it? I didn't even think that he said shit. Wasn't it? He just kept speaking with really formal tones about. That's what's that man understands comedy. You know,
why?
Like something that is objectively hilarious, which is that someone shat on the floor of the classroom, right?
Yeah. And
he's pacing around going, this is a very serious matter. Hey! Anyone else think this is funny? Right, Tyler, to the office. I will not rest until I find out who disrespected the classroom.
Dude, he's a stand-up comedian. It's the old adage: if someone is trying to be serious, they're gonna be the funniest person on earth.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
It's just like, dude, that was the ultimate no laughing louder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like whoever was there at the end of that, those 5 nerds, world champions. I mean, they really must be dead inside. How do you not laugh at that? As a 31-year-old man, I think that's my favorite story I've ever heard.
Yeah, I just think it's so good. Like, I think that's what I miss about school too. Because like,
what? Hang on. Yeah, go on. But
well, just all the characters, the teachers. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah, the characters and the teachers, that definitely adds. But I'd just like to make it more basic, if I may, boys. Why is shitting so funny?
That's a good question. I think it's because it really in that moment shows the animalistic side of humanity. It's just the most, it's like the opposite. It's just like the opposite of enlightenment. It's like, oh no. Oh.
All right, boys, let's bid farewell to our audience. We've lost 100, so we still want to leave at a high.
All right. Well, look, if you want
just remember, if you've got any great shit stories, let us know in the comments now before they disappear. Thank you so much, and sign up to the Up Late podcast, where we'll be talking about even racier stuff.
Yep, Up Late is.
I think we've exhausted our Up Late material on this pod tonight.
We actually have, yeah.
But I don't know, we can dig some more memories. But see you guys next week, and join the Patreon, as they
join the movement.
It's been the poop movement. It's been fun.
Poopment.
All right, bye.
See ya.
I'm proud for everyone.